come and say, hey, before it becomes too late. Come and say, hey, maybe I can make you stay. Used to be everything I've been waiting for. Used to be everything that lets us stay. Just say.
Mike Downs. Yeah. Straight up. Yeah. 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 If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gon' shoot you. Beautiful morning. Yeah, the sun in my morning, babe. Nothing in the water. Beautiful morning, yeah, the sun in my morning, babe. Nothing in the water. I just wanna feel liberated, I just wanna feel liberated, when he can relate,
When I was in high school, we didn't really have like a good art program. I took like every art class I had. I didn't really get introduced to like fine arts till I was in college. Took a ceramics class and I just fell in love. I switched my major and I started doing ceramics, and it just really kind of saved my life. And I've always really liked teaching, so then I taught Spanish for a year and then I got hired at Westlake. I got my degree while I was teaching here and it has just been the best. Ceramics is such an incredible medium, and in our classes we get to learn so many really cool things about how to work with it. Ceramics 1, we focus on a lot of the basics. That's a great one to do. And then after that is Ceramics 2, and that's where we start to get to work on the wheel. We also do a little bit more in-depth stuff. And Ceramics 3 is more of like a portfolio-based class. In this class, you get to pick the theme, so it's really individual. I think even if you don't think you're an artist, or if you are afraid that your art skills are going to keep you from being successful in the class, don't let that stop you, because you're not graded on your art skill. It's just so wonderful to get to come and experience working with clay and building with clay, and it's one of the oldest mediums. You know, ancient civilizations are figured out because we find their pottery.
Up to 35% of people suffer from panic attacks. It's common to not realize that you're having one when it's happening. Here's a story of someone else's experiences so you can recognize when you're having one.
What are my panic attack symptoms? I get a quickened breath, I get really shaky, and like it feels like my lungs are like closing up, and like I can't breathe. 2 years ago I was in marching band, and I love marching band, it's so much fun. But there are times where you are like standing alone in the field and you can't really talk to anybody, and so you really just have your own thoughts to think about. Having to like stand and think and not being able to talk to anyone about that, it triggered a panic attack. But then my friend was able to help me off the field and like kind of talk me down, and I was able to like sit out for a little bit, catch my breath, drink some water, and now I'm doing a lot better.
If you're ever having a panic attack, you can also go to the Wellness Center, which is located upstairs in room C227. If you need a place to cool down and re-grapple your emotions, they're happy to have you.
I play viola.
I play the cello. I play the violin.
The instrument I play is viola.
I play the violin.
I've been playing since 7th grade, so 4 years?
Been playing since 7th grade.
I've been playing the cello for almost 4 years. 4 years? I've been playing violin for 7 years and counting.
Because it seemed fun at first.
My 2 older sisters did it, and I thought it would be a fun experience.
Because I really enjoy it. I think it's really fun. It's really fun to be able to connect with music and really play the notes and play beautiful music for others. In 4th grade, I thought it was cool, so I just decided to try it out.
Definitely to do things ahead of time. You can't just show up and play something last minute not knowing it.
To not procrastinate and to pay attention.
Counting. It's taught me how to play the violin and read music, because I wasn't able to do that before. It's taught me patience, persistence, and to learn the basics of music.
Having stand partners, you always get to have a nice little buddy with you in class that you have to talk with.
Honestly, just the beauty of it and how good it sounds. My favorite thing is performing. I love being on the stage and in nice dress. Got to be the people and just playing the music in general.
My favorite thing about orchestra is at the concerts, once you're finished and you're like, we did that.
I love interviewing Mr. Barretts. Who are you?
Hi guys, my name is Mr. Barretts, and I'm a U.S. history teacher and a sociology teacher at Westlake High School.
That's cool. Tell me about your glasses.
I got these bad boys on Amazon. I buy a pack of 10 for $20.
Tell me about your garden.
Yes, I actually really enjoy gardening. I find it very therapeutic, and so does my wife, and my kids also love to garden. It has a long history with my family as well as my wife's family. I just have memories of my grandpa. Every time we would go and visit him up in Idaho during the summertime, my grandparents always had a huge garden. And they were very self-sufficient people, and that inspired me to want to continue that tradition. We've gardened every year that we've been married.
What all is in your garden?
So over here we have strawberries, we've got tomatoes, we've got onions, cabbage, kale, green beans, carrots, squash, like zucchini, butternut squash, 4 varieties of peppers and 6 varieties of tomatoes. So I have a lovely wife, and she is terrific, and she is kind enough to watch the children while I cook the food. What the fetch? The corn is literally joking. I was like,
The corn's being
I saw
on
thunderclouds, so I was like, I grow an organic garden, so I don't use any pesticides. I grow all these flowers to attract the pests to the flowers or deter pests, and every year my garden turns out awesome because of that.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
You're like an all-natural granola kind of guy, aren't you?
I mean, I do drive a V8 truck that poops out dinosaur bones down the freeway, so I wouldn't exactly call me environmentally friendly.
It's the garden that counts, Bears. That's all it is.
I do
You know, I
Okay.
noticed that there's a large cage full of female chickens over there.
Yes, we actually have 10 chickens, and they provide us with eggs.
Can you tell me all the names of your chickens?
What are the names of our chickens?
Ronnie.
Ronnie?
Tiny Tim.
What?
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim. Velma.
Mama.
And?
Mama.
And? Oh, Maud.
Mother. Big Judy.
Oh, and Oatmeal.
How many eggs a day do you get?
I would say on average, right now we get about 6 to 7 eggs a day.
Does that vary through the year?
Yes, it does. During wintertime, they lay less eggs.
Oh, is it just because they're cold?
I mean, I can tell you like the biology if you want, but my name is Mr. Barris, and I found my hammer.
Welcome to our granola club vlog. This is our first activity. Everyone wave
My memory is not like the other one. Turn to strike my face. Always second place. Tell me again, why is it I never can do anything right? Complicated theories of life, sarcastically. But we both know the way it's gonna go. In the same way, maybe I'm not.
So we got 2 new science teachers this year. We have Mr. Ritchie and we have Mrs. Thompson. I'm your host, Clay Campbell, and we're going to talk mad science with these guys and hear about 2 dangerous scientific disasters that happened to them earlier in their teaching careers. So chemistry has like a little bit of a dark side to it, right? There's a couple dangerous things involved with it. I'm assuming you've had some like accidents with like physics experiments that you might have conducted over the years. So if you've had like any accidents and experiments, which one went the most horribly wrong?
One of the things you can work with is sodium metal. Sodium metal is super reactive if it comes in contact with water. While I was helping the student teacher, one of the kids in the class wanted to try to take some home. So he snuck some in his pocket while my back was turned and I was talking to the student teacher. And then between classes, he went down the hall to get a drink at the drinking fountain and someone splashed water on him and his pants lit on fire. So he actually had to drop his pants right there in the hallway.
Stealing is technically lying, and you know what they say, liar, liar, pants on fire. So
there was a typical catapult type day where students built catapults, and every once in a while dads seemed to take over their kids' projects, and we had somebody that made a catapult out of a loose leaf spring from a car, and needless to say the projectile went out of sight and not quite sure where it landed, but it may have done some damage, absolutely.
Well, there you have it, folks. We'll see you next time. Clay and Mrs. Thompson and Mr. Ritchie out.
Me to be on that screen and live inside each scene.
Without a nickel to my name, hopped a bus, here I came. I could be brave or just insane.